Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared. Today we're checking out some new case knives. These are made in the USA with domestic and imported materials. So that's pretty cool. Let's check this first one out. We'll get right into it. Love to see stuff at least assembled or, you know, even fully done in the USA. I love to see that. So we have a cool looking knife here with really nice micarta. It's got that fabric-y type where you can really feel the fibers in the micarta. Oh, that's nice. Okay. It feels like it has a detent. Okay. And then it's super smooth. I bet I could. Oh, yeah. That's an easy one to one hand because when you open it up like this, it doesn't just close on you, but it does feel like you're popping a detent. Then once you get, then from there to here, it's super smooth. Then you come up to what feels like a second detent, but you know, which it's probably just the liner. Ooh, and then it snaps open. Really nice. So this is an easy one to one hand open and close. Love to see that. But it does kind of feel like, oh, okay. So look, it's a stop pin. And that's all it is. I thought it was going to have a back spring, but it has just a stop pin, and then it pushes out. That's what's acting as the detent. Then once you get there, it's nice and smooth up to that point, and that's that half stop. And it has to get past there. Once it gets past there, it's smooth again, all the way up until the lockout. Very cool. Love this blade shape. 20 CV. Love to see that. And man, love this blade shape, man. It's like a drop foot blade shape. This is totally my style blade shape. Beautiful stonewash. Aluminum bolsters. I can tell this is aluminum. Not sure. This is a satin finish on there. Satin finished aluminum liners and bolster. Deep carry clip. A little bit proud. Wish it was inset with flat screws, but you know, hey, I'm happy that it has a clip. And yes, you do feel the clip quite a bit because it is so proud relative to the thickness of the handle, but I don't think it'll bother anybody because this is going to be a pinch grip knife for the most part, and if you do need to slice with it, you're not going to have it in your hand bearing down on it long enough for that to really bother you. Nice and smooth though. Love to see that. Not centered, but it's a slippy. I'm not that worried about it. The edge, I feel a burr, a significant burr on there. Yeah, from here to here, it's okay. But then from here to here, it's like, it has a very, very, it's got a large burr on there. So wish they would have deburred that. Maybe at the end of this video, I will show you guys how we can clean that up really, really quickly. Other than that, the only other negative I have is the little tiny hardware. It's like so tiny, and then they did a torque here and what looks like an Allen right there. Okay. I wish they would have just did the same size all the way across in torque, but it is what it is. Let's get to this next one. Next one is a top flipper. Ooh, yeah, that felt pretty good. I was expecting it to be a little bit more lazier. Not too bad. I like it. Not too shabby. We have a clip point blade, again in 20 CV. Oh, by the way, this one was called the High Banks. Sorry, High Banks. Then this one's called the Longhouse. So we got the Longhouse and the High Banks so far. And this one has, like I said, a clip point blade, also with this beautiful stonewash. Let's check the edge on this one. Same thing. It has a significant burr on it. I wonder if I can get you guys to see it. Maybe I'll put it under the microscope and show you. But it is, oh, you can kind of see it. See how like there's like, just look at the apex as close as you can. You can definitely see it. I can see it. Anyways. Same micarta, really nice micarta. I do like the micarta. Then we have the aluminum liners and back spacer, same as the other one. Liner lock, not the best access to the liner, but also they did give you a little something. It's kind of weird because I would look at that and be like, man, that's going to be horrible. But then when I actually use it, it's pretty easy. I'm actually pretty impressed with how easy it is. Did they scallop the inside of there or something? Because it, anyways, very cool. I like that it is a lot easier than it looks. The front flipper, I wish the jimping was right here where you need it. It's like the jimping's on the top, which is fine for that, right? To do that, or maybe do that. but it'd be nice if it was right here on the front, even though you can easily use it from the front because the detent is very light on this, as it should be being this type of front flipper. So the jimping should be a little sharper. Bring it up over here to the front. That'd be really cool. It is nice and comfortable in the hand. Great pinch grips. This would be a great skinning knife or something like that. Clip, yes, you do feel it quite a bit in the hand because it is so big. Once again, wish it was inset with flat screws, but it is what it is. Same thing with the hardware on this one. And then the plunge grind. What was the plunge grind like on this one? Okay, so this one's a little bit better. They separated the end of the plunge grind from the edge, as you can see. So I'm happy with that. It's okay. At least they did something. This one, they hit it, but they tapered the plunge grind straight down to the grind. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to hit it, then I guess this would be the way to go. And now you just sharpen up the plunge, like kind of like a Spyderco. But I prefer it to be separated though, if it, you know, if you can. But all in all, it's a cool knife. And, I do not know how their heat treatment is or anything like that. I do like that this has a little bit of a poon action. See a little poon right there? I like that. You guys know I'm a sucker for a poon. Then we have this last one, last but not least. Ooh, nice leather sheath. Okay, let's check this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that, my Carter red liners. Definitely a trailing point. This thing just looks like it wants to skin a deer or something. Oh, this edge is horrifying though. Wow. Wow. I gotta get a piece of paper for this one. Oh, this one's bad. Yeah, this is a horrible edge. Look at all that catching. If I can even get it in. That is horrible. I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but my goodness. I'm going to show you guys how to tune that up really quick. Okay, you can see here, this is my microscope, and you can see the burr all down that edge, looking almost like a jagged serration. I can rub it really quick. You can probably catch it. Yeah, see some skin cell. You can see it if I get it right the right angle, almost like a wave, right at the very apex. And then this right here, you see it looks almost like a sawtooth, just so jagged. Right there, look at that. That one you can really see. So yeah, that's, you know, that's just not having a proper burr removal from the factory. And here you can see when you start sharpening it from home, you know, you're going to make this thing recurve. The knife right here, because you can see how it kind of hits the plunge grind right there. I see how it's kind of curving a little bit. It's almost like a little bit of a recurve first. Well, that's going to only get more and more proud the more you sharpen, which is fine if that's what you want. But just know that when you keep sharpening it, by sharpening from here forward, this is going to remove faster than this. So it's going to start going, it's just going to become a bigger wave. So it'll eventually be like this, you know, like an S. Now you can prevent that by putting a notch right there and separating the end of the plunge grind from the edge. But, you know, this... it's probably made to just kind of recurve over time. A lot of old timers are like that. It is a hollow grind though, I'll give them that. It is definitely a hollow. I can see the machine setting underneath the stone wash. My card I do like, it's decent micarta. Not like the best, but it's decent. Almost looks like some vintage micarta when I look at this little spot right there. Let me show you guys how to tune this up. Now this would be the best thing you could have because it has everything all in one that you're going to need. But you could have just a ceramic rod or a stone and then a strop. And then this is all of that above, like it's the rods. I'm sure you guys seen this in my video, but just in case if you didn't, this has strops, diamond plates, and ceramic rods. This is from Sharpall. I have them linked down in the description under my sharpening supplies stuff. or you know, the sharpening section, but you can undo it and you got all these rods and everything that you can slide in and you can use. So you have multiple diamond rods and ceramics, and then 2 strops, and you have an adjustable angle guide right here. This is a really cool tool. Right now I'm just going to use this WorkSharp one, but you can use any one of these. You know, I could even use this guy right here. Maybe with one of the knives we will use that. But let's start off with this guy right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this 20-degree angle they have, and I'm just going to right across very gently, no pressure, because I'm just trying to knock off the burr. I'm not really trying to micro bevel, and I can feel that burr big time. Might have to go to diamond first with this. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. There we go. Okay. And then this, shout out to Alex from Outdoors 55. Bam, right there. Go check him out. These are his strops. I used my stroppy stuff, diamond. I used a 9 micron spray, so I just sprayed it right on there. And we have it on the strop. I use the 9 micron, so it's a little bit more aggressive for something like this. You can see, look at how much steel's already coming off. It is still a little wet, but whatever. Not really worried about it personally with this one, because it is so aggressive. Maybe I should let it dry. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. Let's see if we can cut cleanly through some paper now. It's a lot better. Still catching. But as you see, like, I could spend a couple more minutes if I wanted to. Maybe another couple very gentle passes on this. Yeah, it's a lot better. If I was going to use this stone, I would just find the angle of which is on the knife and then gently do a couple passes, maybe even a little bit of a slightly higher angle, but not like very high, just enough that I know for sure the burr is going to hit the stone. Because my goal right now is to either slowly diminish this burr or to fatigue it enough that it pops off. And in this case, it's not just going to pop off. The steel is probably on the softer side, I would imagine. It's probably why they're struggling to remove these burrs. Yeah, I bet it is. I'm going to go right over here to the ceramic now. Give it a couple more little gentle passes. Go back to the strop. A lot better with that one. All right, then the last one really quick. Let's see how this one is. This one's not as bad as the other ones, but you can see it still has some spots that it's hitting right there. So I'm just going to use this ceramic really quick. Very gentle. This is no pressure. I'm just trying to get that burr off. I can feel the burrs on this side. Look at all that steel right there. Normally that's like 20 strops before it looks like that. Okay, now it should be a little bit better. Oh, a lot better. Yeah. So that's how you can quickly tune up a knife that comes with a burr, or one that did not come with the best. All right, guys, I really did not want to do this. This is not how I wanted the video to be or end, but here we are. It is what it is. Case knives is so iconic to me. It goes back so far for me. Like one of the first knives I ever had, and, huge part of my upbringing and hunting and stuff like that. But in 2025, are these knives worth the money? Like, should you buy them? And I'm struggling to say yes. Like, I'm like leaning towards no. And the reasons why are because, one, knives are supposed to be sharp. They should not come dull, and they should not come with a nasty burr on them. Now, that's not the biggest deal. You guys rarely hear me bitch about edges. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I don't really ever bitch about edges too much because it's always something you can change. It's always something you can resharpen, things like that. But they should come sharp. They should come damn sharp. You know, I'm not saying they have to be the perfect edge in the world, but they should come sharp because that's what they're advertised as a knife, right? They're a cutting tool. But when we're talking about the steel, though, when you go to sharpen, like when I see these issues with the burrs bouncing back and forth, not coming off very easily. Like normally, if I'm going to remove a burr from like a factory edge, it takes two gentle little passes like that, and I can hit it on a strop and it's fine. When I have to go back and forth, and I can still feel the burr, typically there's an issue. And there's just little indicators that are, and I'm not saying this is true. I don't know. Maybe I'll send it in to get tested, or at least as far as hardness goes. But I think that there's something either wrong with the heat treatments or they're just super soft. One of the two. Now, I would only be able to find out the hardness, and I'm imagining they're very soft. But, you know, maybe there's something wrong with the heat treatment too. I don't know. Maybe both. It's hard to say. 20 CV is a finicky steel. It's a difficult steel for companies to do. Now, there's a lot of companies doing it really, really well, for sure. But there's also a lot of companies not doing it so well. And as we've seen from a lot of the cut tests, especially in the past, before companies were doing it a little bit better, if you're running it super soft, especially like under 58, you know, it's got like no edge retention, you know, like people don't realize like how little edge retention 20 CV will have with a super soft heat treatment. I mean, we were getting like basically like 8 CR 13 MOV results. Anyways, like I said, I didn't want to do this. I just, man, I feel bad because, like I said, they're so iconic to me. They're a USA company, and, you know, I want to build up and help and whatever USA companies. I don't want to hurt their company in any way, shape, or form. But we got to do better, guys. We got to do better, especially if you're trying to reach the knife community, which I don't see how, like, okay, if your market is first-time knife buyers, and people just don't know. People that just don't know about steels, they don't know about heat, they don't know about all that stuff, so it doesn't matter to them, right? If that's your audience, then why use 20 CV, right? I think when I see you using 20 CV, I think you're trying to get the modern knife buyer, right? The guy who knows a thing or two about steels and wants a proper knife. But in that case, you got to deliver, right? You got to deliver a proper knife. Now, I'm not saying all their knives are crap. I'm not saying that at all, right? There are some case knives I do like, but I always do have these little negatives that either one are so easily fixed and I just can't understand why they're not. You know, it's like almost like this doesn't even, it seems like it's a knife trying to be modern but can't be or isn't, you know, like I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's just they seem like they're just missing the ball on certain little things that are very easy, right? Then you get to other things, you know, like I said, like with the steels, the sharpening and things like that. And I don't know what's going on with Case. I don't know what's going on at all. Hopefully they can get this, you know, figured out, and you know, I don't know. Because like I said, man, I'd love to see. I would absolutely love to be just singing, like just praising the hell out of them. That is what I would have loved to have done with this video. These knives looked really cool. You know, I was hoping the best for them, and they are cool. They are cool knives, you know, but you know, there is the little things, you know, and when you look at price for price of what you can get from other companies and things like that, and you start looking at it and you start, you know, I handle enough knives, right? I handle so many knives that I can touch it and just know, you know, little things. Anyways, I don't want to beat up Case, man. I just, obviously, you know, this is what I do. You know, I test and review products and then let you know what I think, and I want to be honest with you guys. So yeah, man, it's hard for me to recommend Case at this point. Hopefully they step their game up. and because I'd really, really, really like to be a part of it, or like to see it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I feel like this got really sad. I'm sorry. You know, man. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace. Fuck. Felt horrible.